MCQs related to ballad. Part of your LT exam, and it will help you definitely in TGT level or even in NTA UGC NET exams if you are preparing for English literature. Let's go ahead. So first question for you is, what is the origin of the term ballad? Okay, so the ballad originated from the term, and it was from French language. So the answer is French. In which century was the earliest recognizable ballad in England, Judas, written? So here are two questions you can do. Which one is the earliest recognizable ballad, and what was its name? So it was Judas, and it was written in 13th century. So answer is C again. What is the rhyme scheme most commonly associated with traditional ballads? Okay, so your right answer is A, B, C, B. So traditional ballads have rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. Now next question for you. Which of the following poets were influential in collecting and publishing ballads in the 18th century? So which were the poets in 18th century who were influential ballad writers or composers? So it was Thomas Percy. Next question for you. Which element is not commonly associated with traditional ballads? Narrative nature, repetition, non-rhyming couplets, imagery over description. So non-rhyming couplets. So we all know that ballads were, basically created for singing purpose. So repetition was there, narrative nature, and imagery and this over description you will see. Next one is, who are considered communalist in the study of ballads? Uh, is the first answer. Johann, Gottfried Herder, and the brothers Grimm. So these two. What is common theme in Scottish ballad? Urban life, supernatural elements, political satire, naval battles. So supernatural elements and war life, and the village life. You will say rural life. So these were the common themes in ballads you should know. Okay, it was not political satire, naval battles, urban lives, because earlier if you see the Scottish ballads, so they used to write about supernatural elements and wars like this. So this is the answer. Now next question for you. What distinguishes broadsides ballad from traditional ballads? Okay, so first one, oral tradition. So oral tradition is peculiar quality of traditional ballads printed on single sheets. So it is not actually traditional, because in traditional ballads they used to sing it and remember the songs. It was not printed. Third one is composed by anonymous authors. Yes, traditional ballads were by anonymous writers, because they didn't print it, or they didn't take credit or write their names there, passed down through generations. And yes, you will see in local culture, local languages, you'll see lots of ballads are sung by people. So printed on single sheet, this is not the answer. Next question for you related to ballad is, which work is considered the first ballad opera? Okay, so first ballad opera, the first one, the Tiffany opera, the Beggars opera, Love in a Village, or Rosina. So your answer is B, the Beggars opera. Beggars opera is considered the first ballad opera. Which poet and author is associated with the lyrical ballads? Okay, we know it is famous one, Robert Burns, Walter Scott, S.T. Coleridge, or Rudyard Kipling. So the answer is Samuel Taylor Coleridge, S.T. Coleridge. and he co-authored it with William Wordsworth. If you know, you can write down in comment section what is the publication year of Lyrical Ballads. Now I have opened the chat section. Who published Minstrel of the Scottish Border? Francis James Child, Thomas Percy, Walter Scott, Robert Burns. So your answer is Walter Scott. Minstrel of Scottish Border. These were composed by and these were published by Walter Scott. Which type of ballad mixed the genre with Afro-American music? Traditional ballads, broadside ballads, literary ballads, or blues ballad? So these were blues ballads. Next question for you. In which century did ballads, operas became popular? Which was the century? 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, or 19th century? So your answer is 18th century. Which ballads collector's work remained unfinished due to his death, leaving uncertain classifications? Walter Scott, Thomas Percy, Francis James Child, or Svante Grunterwig? So it was Francis James Child who died, and his works got, it left uncertain classifications. What is the origin of the term ballad? What is the origin of the term ballad? So it was French. I just told you. This is repeated question. Now these some of the questions will be repeated. Then you will get some questions, new questions. In which country was the earliest organizable ballad in England? Judas. As I just told you, it was 13th century. What is the rhyme scheme of the most commonly associated with traditional ballad? It was A, B, C, B. Let's do these quickly, then we will see some new MCQs. Which poet was influential in collecting and publishing ballads in 18th century? This poet was from 18th century. William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, Thomas Percy, or Robert Burns? Your answer is C, Thomas Burns. Which element is not commonly associated with traditional ballads? Okay, narrative nature, repetition, non-rhyming couplets, or imagery over description. So non-rhyming couplet. They used to, created for singing purpose. Ballads were created for singing purpose. So these usually had rhyming couplets. Who are considered communalist in the study of ballads? So A is the answer. What is the common theme in a Scottish ballad? Urban life, supernatural elements, political satire, or naval battles? As I told you, these all had, these were created for wars, singing, and supernatural elements were there. Rural themes were there. What distinguishes broadside ballads from traditional ballads? So it was printed on single sheet. That time, traditional ballads were not written in any kinds of sheets. Which work is considered the first ballad opera? Answer is The Beggar's Opera. This is a repeated one. Which poet and author associated with the lyrical ballad? It was Samuel Taylor Coleridge. What is the primary meter used? Now some of the new questions you will get. Iambic pentameter. What is the primary meter? Iambic pentameter, iambic tetrameter, and trimeter, trochaic tetrameter, or dactylic hexameter. So you will see in traditional ballads iambic tetrameter and trimeter. Who published Minstrel of the Scottish Border? This work was published by Walter Scott. Which type of ballad mixed the genre and Afro-American music? It was blues. In which century did ballad operas become popular? 16th century, 17th century, 18th century, or 19th century? So the answer is C, 18th century. Which ballad collector's work remained unfinished due to his death, leaving uncertain classifications? C is the answer, Francis James Child. Here is a new question for you. How many ballads sung in North America have origin in Scottish traditional or broadside ballads? So it was 300. Which ballad is also known the Unfortunate Rake? Unfortunate Rake. The Ballad of Davy Crockett, Jesse James, The Street of Laredo, Waltzing Matilda. The Streets of Laredo is also known as the Unfortunate Rake. Who catalogued most of the American ballads in 19th century? Francis James Child, this is from American literature. Thomas Percy, George Malcolm Laws, Swant Grunteweg, George Malcolm Laws. What styles are American ballads closely related to? British broadside ballads, traditional ballads, literary ballads, blues ballads. So your answer is A, British broadside ballads. What is defining character of blues ballad? Strong narrative, emphasis on character, rhyming couplet, or lack of adversity. Emphasis on character. Next question for you. What instrument often accompanied with blues ballad? It was banjo and guitar. Which country did bush ballads particularly gain a foothold in? It was Australia. What is the most famous bush ballad? Waltzing Matilda. What type of ballads are referred to as tearjerkers? Answer is C, sentimental ballads. Which 19th century music industry contributed to the origin of the sentimental ballads? Tin Pan Alley. What is modern variation of sentimental ballad? It was jazz, pop, rock, all of the above you will see if you talk about modern literature. So these questions are from modern literature. Which ballad is an example of sentimental ballad from 1817? Little Rosewood Casket. In what century did sentimental ballad gain popularity? It was 19th century. What term is used for slow love songs from the 1950s onward? It was power ballad. And the last question for today is, which country's ballad often demonstrate a concern with occupation and journalistic style? It was America. So hopefully you got some help from this topic ballad, and we'll be doing MCQs daily. Uh, so subscribe the channel and like the video so that you will get some notifications from channel, because some of you were writing in group that we are not getting notifications. So this is the reason. If you like the videos, you will get the notifications from the same channel if we upload some of new videos, and we don't have to send the links to the groups. So see you in next video. Till then, goodbye, take care.